Yes.
Good morning, ma'am.
Saturday. 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 That's how we pronounce it, isn't it? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Many of you pronounce it as Wednesday. That's not the way we pronounce it. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And obviously we have the most favored day of the week, and that is Sunday. Right, so right now, let us look forward to this class that we have. Today I'm going to specially deal with some basic essentials that you must remember when you're appearing for an interview. Some very basic essentials that you need to remember. You've already done your preparation, you've done a lot of reading, you've done a lot of preparation, you've got your attire right. But what is of utmost importance, I believe, and I'm sure you will also believe this, that when you are appearing, when you are sitting, when you are on the other side of the table, when you have a senior professional right before you, well attired, well groomed, and of course, well-meaning gentleman or a gentle lady, certain things you have to bear. There are certain things you must bear in mind when you are sitting on the other side. You are already well-groomed and you are well-attired and all that. But as soon as you start off, as soon as the communication starts, that's what I've been tutoring you all this while. I've been hammering those basic nuances of things that you need to work on, especially during your communication classes in the initial years. But what you need to do is, when you're sitting, so how exactly does your mind work? What are the things that are going on in your head? Some things have to be very, very clear, and there is no two opinion about it. So let's get started with what exactly, just the basic ones that you need in order to present yourself, very positively before your employer or before the one who is trying to hire you or before the one who is trying to interview you. So here we go. Let's get started. The whiteboard will obviously come to our rescue. A little water is always very, very helpful because it helps you to keep your throat moist. Especially for a conversation or something, make sure that your throat is fully moist so that you can appear for an interview. You can speak without hiccups. You can speak without any lump in your throat or something. So here we go. Some things that you need to. So since it's a Saturday, so let us brighten up the day with something very bright. Maybe this color will come in. I'm very particular about choosing colors, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm very particular about choosing colors because colors actually brighten up your day. They decide your mood and they decide how exactly things are going to go about. That's my personal viewpoint. I don't know how many of you will agree, but that's how it goes for me. So here we go with the first and the foremost thing, the most important thing that is needed when you are sitting on the other side of the table already. I know there will be a little of jitters, there will be a little of nail biting, there could possibly be a little of shaking of the legs also, but please make sure that you keep all that aside. And first thing that you need to do is even seat yourself and then see how exactly. I'm sure every interviewer, most of the interviewers are going to strike for the first thing, and that is introduce yourself. So the first thing that you are going to bear in mind is you're going to introduce yourself. You're going to introduce yourself. By introducing yourself, there are certain things. Now you can possibly say, now my resume is already there. What is the need to introduce? The need is because a lot of things are going to come about when it is a one-to-one, personal kind of an interaction. So introducing yourself is going to be more a kind of a formal aspect of the interview, but introduce you must. Few things that you must bear in mind by introducing yourself, that whatever qualities you're talking about yourself, how that those qualities, talk about your name, of course, needless to say, your name and your qualification, even though they are there on the resume, but you must be very, very sure that you must introduce yourself. Never should you say, myself is. This is a very conventional way, but a very erroneous way of introducing yourself. I must say, either you can say, I am this, or my name is this, but never should you say myself this. Please bear this in mind very strongly. We go with the next important thing, we're going to talk about your qualifications, which again you can say that it is already there in your resume. That's true, but a verbal expression, a verbal acceptance of the fact as to what exactly your qualifications are is going to do you a world of good. Coming to more important thing, your qualities. Qualification, not only your academic qualification, but your personal qualities, your personal traits that are going to be of use. How is that particular trait of yours going to be of use to? How is it going to? Is it visible to all of you? Is the
Yes,
board visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
How is it how is it going to be beneficial? Going to be beneficial to the organization. That's very important. You could possibly be having hundreds of good qualities, you could possibly be having personal attributes to yourself. But what is of utmost importance is that how is it going to behave, how is it going to contribute to the growth, to the wellness, to the prosperity of the organization. That's very, very important. So you are expected to highlight those qualities of yours which is going to be of substantial significance to the organization. That is one thing that you must bear in mind. Moving on to the next important thing, and that is second important thing. Listen very carefully. Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Listen carefully. Why listening is important? I don't have to tell you, we've done it in communication classes, that listening is of utmost importance, is a very significant an aspect for the fact that only if you listen carefully will you be able to get a grasp of what the other person is wanting to do. Right? Am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you get an idea as to what exactly is going on, what exactly is the interviewer trying to know from me, and that is only possible because if your mind is somewhere else and you're thinking of 100 things other than what is happening in the room, you're going to be at a loss, isn't it? So this listening aspect is very, very important, and that is listen carefully. Carefully. This listening will help you to understand the psychology of the other person also as to what exactly is expected of you. What are the things that he is going to give priority to, and accordingly you will be able to highlight your own potentials according to the need of the organization, of the interviewer, and of the entire workplace at large. So listening is very important. In fact, if I'm drifting a little, listening not only for the sake of interview, but otherwise also, it's always nice to be a good listener.
Yes, ma'am.
Always nice to be a good listener. So I'm going in this moral aspect of the entire, then it helps you to improve your entire persona, right? The next thing that we talk about is when you're listening, and the next thing you will be able to do is answer. So what comes very important when you are going to answer a question is you have to. Should I change?
Yes, ma'am.
Should we move on to the next page?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So the third important thing that I believe what you have to have is that you have to get your grammar right. Get your grammar right. I have been insisting, I have been practically hammering this aspect in your head that your grammar has to be absolutely correct, isn't it? You need not speak very ornamental language, but what is important is that whatever you speak, it has to be correct. It has to be correct, isn't it? Sometimes in the flow of speaking fast, you are likely to make lots of mistakes. So I would always suggest that you should always keep your mind, get your grammar right. Get your grammar. Please do not overlook this aspect. Please do not overlook this aspect. When I tell you that, you could possibly say, "Are you grammar ki kaun grammar?" No, don't listen to those people and all that. It is only a fine grammar, it is only a correct grammar that will make you sound convincing. So getting your grammar is important, because you've already done classes on verbs, you've done tenses, you've done active passive voices, you've done translations, you've done essentials of conversation and all that, isn't it? So I along with my colleagues and all that, we have been working on this thing. If you haven't really paid attention, it's going to be a very bad thing for me and for you also. But you still have time. You still have time to work on it, and please work on your grammar. There are so many aspects to it. In my previous videos, I told you, in my previous classes also, I've shown you that how those small little errors, they are actually going to be very, very costly for you, especially when you are appearing for an interview. And those small little nuances of grammar they are going to give you that extra edge during your interview. So get your grammar right, be it tenses, be it prepositions, be it your use of articles. I won't say many of you make this mistake. You just allow an article to evaporate from a sentence. You just add an extra article just because you think it is right. That doesn't really work. So there are so many aspects to this that you must pay attention to. Tenses are, of course, of utmost importance. A good vocabulary is always a very, very desirable thing. So a good vocabulary. But again, I'm telling you, refrain from using very exaggerated vocabulary. That could possibly, be a very erroneous effort on your part. So a good vocabulary, a reasonable vocabulary is a desirable thing, isn't it? The next thing that I would like to tell you is you should never should you ever try to be dishonest. So be very honest. Be very honest. Very honest, isn't it? Don't exaggerate your qualifications. Don't talk very loftily about yourself. Don't use all those adjectives that you have used for yourself or have learned for yourself. Be very honest, very simple, and very, very clear about your intentions, about your speech, about your qualities, and about your potentials. And the last, but definitely not the least, do not ever try to talk ill about your previous employment, if at all you had one.
Yes, ma'am.
Agreed?
Yes, ma'am. Agreed.
Yes. So never should you. See how I'm using the sentence over here. In my classes I've told you how exactly to begin a sentence with the negative. Never should you talk ill about your previous employment, isn't it? Morally also it is not very correct. Ethically also it is not.
Yes, ma'am.
And professionally very undesirable, I must tell you. So it's not at all a happy thing to talk ill about. Never should you talk ill about. This is very important. Don't ever talk ill about your previous employment or your employers, or for that matter, even your colleagues, isn't it? You should always have a respectful view towards them, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Boys and girls, even your colleagues or the work culture, never. I think at CIMAGE we have taught you all to be culturally good, isn't it? So I think these are the points that you're going to bear in mind, and I'm sure you're going to really ace. You're really going to get through, and you're really going to clear it with absolute pleasure. So wishing you all the very best for any interview that you may appear.